Shalom. First and foremost, going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, we're finna get into this quick lesson. Alright, it's going to be very quick. Lord willing, I got a little downtime at the job right now, so. And I've been meaning to do this lesson right here about this article right here, So it says, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was tortured in Salvadorian prison, court filing alleges. All right, so it says, Kilmar Abrego, the Maryland man who was wrongfully deported to El Salvador and detained in one of that country's most notorious prisons, was physically and psychologically tortured during the 3 months he spent in Salvadorian custody, according to the new court documents filed Wednesday. And, I bring out this article because, Lord put on my spirit, like, hey, some of us, we might get put into these, we might get sent off to, Salvadorian, prison, or alligator Alcatraz, All right. Some of us might have to, be tortured a little bit, That's the reality of this truth, of walking with, walking on that same path of Yahushua, But this is Yahushua right here. Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. So see, some of us is going to be thrown into prison, these concentration camps, all right, that Donald Trump is building, all right, alligator Alcatraz or the actual place Alcatraz, Salvadorian, wherever, But this is going to be, to try us, to try our faith, to see, hey, do I really believe in the Lord? Or does he really believe in me? Or is he just going to give up, just because a little, some adversity came upon him, because at the end of the day, let's get something real quick. We'll just say, fear him. Let me see, Salakia. You already know what I'm going to. Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. All right. So see, hey, we're not worried about, what man can do unto us, because at the end of the day, it's the Lord who's in control of what that man does, So we're not going to fear men, all right? We're going to fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're going to fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua's laws, statutes, and commandments, all right? The things that's written in the scriptures, Because, hey, this Esau, so-called white man, he's going to, he's about to present, this chip to us, all right? The micro chip, all right? The MOTB, all right? And he's going to make it seem like, hey, this is the only way out, of the hell that he's about to bring upon this earth. He's about to bring a orchestrated, famine. All right. There's going to be civil war. There's going to be war here in America. All right. It's going to be chaos here in America. All right. So he's going to be like, hey, if you take this, everything will be good. So, and that's going to be that moment of, oh, shit, like, hey, do you fear the Lord or do you fear men? Are you gonna rely on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to feed you? Or are you gonna rely on Esau, the so-called white man? So yeah, we fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. He said not to take the MOTB. Hey, we don't take it. All right. And in the times to come, it's gonna be, hey, understand this. We're gonna soon to come. We're really about to, what we've been speaking. We're gonna have to actually follow through with it. It's easy, to speak on it. Just to speak on it. Bring out the precepts, but the actual part is, going through it. And actually keeping the faith. Look, what the? Call all y'all about Shimmy Shah. As soon as I'm saying this, it's a 144 right here. Lord willing, I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna put it on my as the I forgot what it's called. But Lord willing, I'll put it up. That's cold. See, that's a spirit. See, and it's a random ass 144. So real quick again. Here, this is what he had to do. It says, while being held at the so-called terrorism confinement center in El Salvador, Abrego and 20 other men were forced to kneel from approximately 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., according to the court papers filed by his lawyer in the federal district court in Maryland. So see, and this is light right there. That was light. It wasn't light. I'm not gonna say like I could just easily do that. But worse things is about to come than just being, kneel down for a certain time. Hey, niggas gonna be getting beat to death. They're gonna cut you open, all right? While you're wide awake, This is what's coming, of course, for the wicked, But hey, they're gonna try to get some of the elect, trying to, use scare tactics on them, make them afraid to make them kneel. But guess what? Hey, this is, see, Romans 8 and verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? So see, and the answer to that question is nothing. All right, no persecution is going to separate the elect from the love of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're going to always keep the faith. It says, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. So see, and coming in the truth, hey, you gotta understand it. You're gonna, you're gonna lose. You're gonna take a lot of L's, to get the big W, basically. And guess what? Yahweh Shai is gonna be with us in them. He's gonna put his spirit upon us, to endure. He's gonna give us the strength to fight through, our, each of our affliction that the Lord personally set up for us. All right. That's gonna be the make it or break it type. Guess what? Yahweh Shai is gonna put his spirit on us, to endure it, so we can get that crown of life. So I'm going to go back to Revelations 2. Revelations 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. See, we're going to suffer. All right? But we know patience, that's what we need. That's how we get closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right? That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. See, we're going to be tried for a certain period of time, some of us. All right? But guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and he's going to let us know that he's with us. All right? He's going to make it known that he's with us. All right? All we got to do is just believe in him. All right? And keep the faith, It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See? So even if you got to die, understand, hey, that's why we got the scriptures, the comforter, all right? Because, hey, a nigga without the comforter, you know, without the true understanding of the word, they think, hey, I'm gonna die and I'm not gonna come back. You know, they're in a spirit of fear, you know. But us, hey, we understand that. We're gonna understand that, hey, this gotta come, this gotta happen. If I gotta die, I gotta die. We don't read, you know, Sirach the 4th. I believe it's Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. We're not reading that for no reason, all right? It's in there because, hey, some of us might have to die, all right? But guess what? The Lord is going to be with us, all right? Hey, just believe, all right? He's going to make it known that he's with us, all right? Just do what we got to do now, all right? So the Lord, you know, can, you know, just be with us, you know? So see, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, all right? A crown of life, immortality, all right? You know, ruler of the world, you know? Ruler over these heathen nations, all right? Unimaginable things that, you know, that you can't even think about is coming, you know, to us that, you know, hold faithful, you know? Stay faithful to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all glory, honor, praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, Dabba, Honor, Apostle, and others, we're Millstone. All right, Shalom.